And we are live. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. I hope most of you are all warm because I know a lot of us are getting hit with a little bit of a cold snap. We had a
Very
balmy high of 14 today.
yes.
So hope everybody's staying home warm and toasty. And Agador is joining us today as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
So
Agador is very happy in my bedroom because he's right next to these big windows and he can see the birds come into the feeder. He likes it here and it's nice and warm.
and he likes to sing for us too. And I told Nancy, I miss having Agador chirping and singing and saying
Yeah.
hello during the show. So she
So,
says, let's do it from my bedroom today.
yes. Yes.
So was it yesterday? Well, over the weekend, Nancy was like, well, did you give any idea to Monday's show? And I said, not really. And she sent me this link for some meditation music. Um, it's on YouTube. The channel's called Athena, and they did and it's just the same screen, of a row of, excuse me, of Egyptian kitty cat statues,
Yeah.
but it was music, and they gave the title to the music for Bastet,
Yes.
the one of the Egyptian goddesses of cats. Well, at least the cats that we come to know, like our domesticated cats. And she was like, well, what if we maybe did a show talking about some of the Egyptian goddesses? And I thought, perfect.
Yeah.
So by, listening to that, my YouTube gave me other options to look at. And I came across a documentary too, on Bastet, where I learned of another female wildcat goddess that I didn't know about that I'm going to share today. But Nancy has a book, and so I'm just going to open it up to the floor to Nancy, and go ahead, and
Well, I
then I'll
I am just learning about a lot
hi,
of this stuff
Jessica.
and Farah from it used to be Far Away Astrology, but I think now it's Farah and Simple Astrology or something like that. But anyway, on her
Simple
channel,
astrology with
she
Farah.
did Simple Astrology with Farah.
I think that's it.
Um, she had this deck, and I had it on my wish list, and finally, it popped up, and they had it for $17, I think. So I went ahead and I ordered it. And this is something that I knew absolutely nothing about. I don't know if any of you have this deck. It it's about the Libyan Sibyls, and what they are considered the black doves of
Mm.
Africa. And when I was reading the guidebook, it says in ancient Mediterranean world, the dove was a symbol of the soul, the great mother goddess of innumerable names and her priestesses. Therefore, the reference of these two black doves, dark skinned women from Thebes or Waset, identifies them as sibyls. Pindar, an early Greek poet, named the cluster of dazzling stars located in the constellation of Taurus the Pleiades, which means a flock of doves. This star cluster is now known as the Pleiades, named for the seven sisters of Greek mythology: Maia, Electra, Alcone, Taygete, Asterope, Solano, and Merope, who were inextricably linked to Africa. And it says, though we only see sparse or superficial representations of the Sibyls today, if at all, and almost none represented as distinguishable women of color, they wielded a tremendous amount of power and influence throughout the ancient world. The Sibyls were consulted by aristocracy prior to all major undertakings and provided comfort and spiritual guidance for all who sought them. It is also important to note that prior to the advancement and ultimate supremacy of patriarchal values, the temples dedicated to Zeus, Apollo, Dionysus, and other gods were originally the domain of the goddess Isis, Hathor, Tennet, Themis, and Gaia. So they were kind of hijacked by the patriarchy.
What isn't?
I mean, well, that's the, what kind of what we've been talking about with a lot of the goddesses. It says a significant number of characters from the Greco-Roman pantheon mythology were originally Libyan deities or spiritual concepts. And it talks about how a lot of the Egyptian goddesses started out as goddesses in Africa, in the northern part of Africa. And I thought that was fascinating. And it said that there were pilgrims that would seek the wisdom of the Sibyls. And it says it was a brave decision to visit the oasis because to reach it, travelers had to cross approximately 423 miles of sand and temperatures that could easily reach more than 110 degrees Fahrenheit. The desert regularly claimed the lives of travelers. In fact, the Persian army lost 50,000 soldiers when they attempted to reach the oracle in 524 BCE. Oracles were considered manifestations of the word of God or goddess to the ancients, so to seek counsel with a Sibyl was well worth the risk. If a traveler did manage to survive, they would be welcomed by a virtual paradise that included thousands of palm and olive trees, not to mention fresh water in the form of streams and springs. And so, I mean, there's just so much information in this, and I guess it's kind of boring me reading it, but let's see.
And what a lot of people don't realize too is that there was at one time, Africa wasn't completely all desert. There was a lot of it was green, and that the rivers once connected the Nile branched out into Africa. So there was that, early trades and the intermingling of gods and goddesses, and and then of course as nature started taking over, and it became more desert. Still people remember those travel ways and were willing to, again, make that pilgrimage, take that trip.
Well, I tell you, this deck, what it like the artwork in it, it's because what they did back there, their art was created in mosaic tiles that were then put on the walls, and so this is what the cards look like. It's a copy of the old mosaic
That's very cool
tiles. And so I am just absolutely fascinated with this, and I can't put it down. But I just thought it was interesting. Well, first of all, how they were demeaned like a lot of others that we have heard of. Apparently, they are still there. There are some that are still there, and I'm just so glad that this deck is out there, because to me it's absolutely fascinating, and there's like a workbook in it, how you can work with it and everything. But I just wanted to share it with you all because I thought it was really interesting. Oh, and Allison is here.
We've had several people joining us. Jackie Jacaranda is here. So welcome, Jackie. And Amanda, Mama Sushi. Oh, Allison, if you're home, take a look at this little sweetheart. Everybody who loves little Chihuahua puppy doggies. It's Truffle Britches.
This is my Truff. Oh, I woke her up. She was sleeping next to me.
Oh, Mommy, I was dreaming.
Yes. She was dreaming of yes, she's a good
cookies.
Mama's baby. Yes, Mama's baby, give me a kiss. Oh yeah, there you go. You want to lay back down? You want to lay? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And Janet Lee is here. She says, just pull the pizza out. Perfect timing to see the Divine Feminine show. And apparently, Janet And she said, did you see that Elizabeth made a homemade pizza the other day? She said she was inspired by you. So very nice. And Amanda says, it's not boring. It feels like a great day to be learning. And I agree. And yes, hey girl, hey, Miss Miss Egyptian.
Well,
um,
I just didn't know anything about it, and I don't know if anybody else was aware of the black doves of Africa and
and
the
Amanda would
history that they have. Um, I don't know. It just absolutely fascinated me.
like to know, Mama Sushi, what is the deck and book called again?
Oh, okay. It is the Sibyl's Oraculum, and it's and it slides out, and the deck fits in it, and then there's this book. Let me see, where's the book? I just had.
And I have seen that on Amazon, I believe.
Yeah, and it's just a wealth of information, and it's very affordable. You know, of course, it's been out, you know, for I don't know, 5 or 6 years maybe, but it's brand new to me.
And speaking of pizza and Elizabeth is here.
Yes.
And summoned you. Yay. So I definitely feel like this is going to be a pizza week. So I haven't had one in a while. And there's a place that does the stone, you know, where they just pop. Oh, it's delicious. And you can get like a 2-topping pizza fresh out of a stone oven for like $22. That's it, you know, and you get a nice 6. Yeah. Was it 12? No, or was it 12 or 20? No, I think it was $12. So I don't know. But yes. So okay. Got pizza on the brain now. I totally enjoy this because I don't know much about Egyptian. Very interesting. Well, it would take more than one show, believe me, because
Yeah.
as you know, I was looking this afternoon. There are like not a total, but there's approximately 2,000 gods and goddesses that the ancient Egyptians, worshipped in their long history. And so I had actually learned of a new one when I was looking up Bast yesterday, but we do have Bast, or known as
Mhm.
Bastet, and she's the most famous pretty much out of all the Egyptian goddesses, especially because of her being connected pretty much with like the domesticated cat. And they were actually called because of the sound that they make. That's where we get meow from. The ancient Egyptians,
Oh,
unless you were like royalty, you gave your cat a certain name. But regular domesticated people, you know, with their cats, they just call them meow because that's the sound that they made. And they were for helping keep mice, for killing snakes, good little babies,
sneaky snake.
and you know, keeping them safe and protected. So and there was a temple in Bubastis. It was named after Bast. And unfortunately, it's pretty much leveled as, you know, it was decreed when Christianity took over that when the Roman Empire would get there, they made sure that they promised that it would be leveled. And there's pretty much just very, very little left to her temple, which is very interesting too, because it's that temple, that area that actually gave refuge to Mary, Joseph, and the baby during their flee. So, you know, that's very, you can tell that there was just, it has nothing to do, again, with, um, you know, really the spiritual nature was more of a political. But anyway, Hathor, she is a well-known Egyptian goddess. She is connected with the cow, and with fertility. You know, when you see the Milky Way, people refer to that like as Hathor's milk, the milk from, you know, her ever-flowing breasts, that she gave creation from. And of course, everybody knows Isis. We have also Sekhmet, and they're saying that what I found interesting too is, you know, how we kind of have like an example of the Morgan, how you have Makkah, you have Bav, and you have Anu. Well, with Bastet, Sekhmet is considered an aspect of Bast, that some people feel she's her own, but she's also like considered or associated with Bast. Bast being the more compassionate, playful, loving, mothering aspect of the goddess, and Sekhmet is more of the lioness, the warrior goddess, the battle goddess. You also have Selkat. I mean, like again, there's so many that we'll probably do. I think a show maybe on one on particular one. And we have Nut. Now her name, I've seen her name pronounced different ways. I have one of her cards here
I have
from
a
the
terrible
goddesses.
time with pronunciation of these.
So it's sometimes it's written without the I in this deck. It's written with the I, and some pronounce it as Newt, or Nut or Nuit. And she is typically shown, like if you look at the thumbnail, the overcompassing goddess, with the hands and the feet. She's the night sky, so she's the goddess of the night, the stars. It says, yep, it says here, reach for the stars. The Egyptian goddess of the sky reminds you of the vastness of the cosmos and the limitless possibilities of life. Notice the expansiveness within yourself and the universe, where you are connected to the stars and the very essence of creation. As you look to the heavens, let Nut's energy inspire you to dream big. And is it okay if I go on, Nancy? Is there anything you want to add, or?
Oh no, I'm enjoying listening
Oh,
to it.
okay.
Mhm.
Listening to me.
Yeah.
And of course, we have Isis as well. And now for me, I have two decks with Isis, goddesses of the world, and the Colette Baron Reed one. And I tend to prefer the one that Jenna did, just because I love that they focus on the rebirth of Isis and the power of that she had to be able to collect the pieces of her murdered husband, to reassemble him and to resurrect him. Sound familiar? A god dying and then being, resurrected. So it also started, even further back with Isis and her husband Osiris. And with the goddesses of the world, to me, it's just a little bit more overly sexualized for a bit for me. I mean, she's pretty, but I love when deck creators kind of focus a little bit more on the innate power, and the like the essence, of the archetype. Not saying that Isis wasn't, sensual or sexual, but I love how at least with this card, with the representations, they're focusing more on their divine inner power, necessarily than over exemplifying. Is that the right word? Over exemplifying or over exaggerating, you know, um, um, body figures and things. And I'm not body shaming, but for me, I just love the focus on Isis being of rebirth. And in the goddesses book, it says for Isis, trust your higher self. And I think that's amazing. Isis was one of the first, was the original, or one of the original, they took the Madonna and Child off of the old statuaries of Isis, holding her son Horus, and with Isis here, it says the Egyptian mother goddess guides you to awaken the magic within yourself. Tap into the power of intuition and the ability to heal and nurture others, trusting your inner wisdom and higher self. Just as Isis resurrected her beloved Osiris, you have the power to transform and rise from life's challenges. And without really going into, because Nancy and I don't do politics, I know today might have been heavy for some of us. And so just to remember that we have the power to rise above difficult times and challenges, and that we just have to have that faith in ourselves moving forward, and just being really focused on us, our family, and thriving, you know. And hello, Tom. Early rituals here. And so is whoops, and so is
Audra.
Audra.
Yeah.
Let's see. Listen to the sweet chatter of birds. That's our Agador Spartacus.
Yes. He's such a happy boy.
And let's see. Allison says, "I'll resist the temptation to chime in with my love for Egypt. I've read much about Egypt. I'm sewing and listening." So yes, Allison's got that beautiful Nefertiti bust she showed me the other day, and some of the books and decks that she has. So love, love, love that. And so the other goddess, we have Sekhmet, and I really recommend. I wish I would have thought of this and put that in description into the description box. But there is a video. I believe I mentioned this a few times, that there is a room that a lot of tourists don't go into or are made aware of. It's one of those rooms where some of whatever Egyptian travel and tourism or the government, really don't want a lot of people to know about. So there's this one young lady who's kind of like a Josh Gates. She's blonde hair. She's Australian, and she loves, ancient Egyptian. She works with Bright Insight too, his channel. And there is a room that certain people, can be taken to if you know the right people. And in this dark room is a black stone sculpture of Sekhmet. And people say when you go in there is like an energy shift change. For some people, they get a little sick. Some people feel like the, like the tingling all over, like and then people who are more tuned towards metaphysical feel like their third eye, their chakras open up, especially around the top of their head. And they said when you walk around the room, no matter where you are, it's like her eyes follow you everywhere. And when people try to take video or pictures, a lot of times there's completely nothing there, or sometimes there's like an energy form or something in front of the camera. So it's really fascinating. I think if you go and type in YouTube, Sekhmet, Blackstone statue or something, it should be able to bring it up. So Sekhmet, whatever stone stuff that they use for her, very powerful goddess, very powerful energy. And it says, be determined. And the Egyptian lioness warrior empowers you to embrace your inner strength and stand firmly in your power. Embody the fiery courage of Sekhmet as you face life's challenges, knowing that your fierce determination will lead to victory. Let her energy ignite the flames of passion within you, driving you to create positive change. So again, perfect day and time to be talking about these very empowering goddesses. They remind us to nurture ourselves, but also to empower ourselves and to tap into that strength and resiliency, that we all have. In future shows, I would like to do something a little bit focusing more on maybe Sekhmet and Hathor, maybe some of the lesser known. There's Selkat as well. And don't want to forget Mat or Ma'at. And she is the goddess of truth. And she was the one where the Egyptians, so when you died, you were presented to you. And if your heart was heavier than the feather, then you had not lived a good life, and that you had to return and come back again. So, or in some other cases, they say that, you just go to the underworld and you don't return. But she's basically the justice card. She balances, the deeds of, what you've done in life with the lightness, of a feather. So Ma'at is also another goddess. And before I go on, did you want to add anything so people don't think I'm talking over you, Nancy?
I was just showing pictures from my deck of when you would talk
this.
about a goddess,
I
would
that.
put it up. Allison, do you have this deck?
And Garnet is here.
Yes.
Hello, Garnet. I know she's got one deck, the Egyptian gods. And is that Oracle or Tarot?
This is Oracle. It's gods and goddesses.
Okay, there we go. And Tom says, I've been getting into the Ma'at focused offshoot of the Lemma recently. I didn't know there was a thing. Very interesting. And I
Yeah.
love her name, Ma'at. Just
Yeah.
it sounds primal, sounds powerful. It's ancient. And so I'm going to say for a little bit until we do another show, but I
Mm-hmm.
came across a goddess. Now, where did she go? It erased her. Well, her name is Phuket, and she is a Egyptian goddess with the face of a caracal cat. So they're wild as well. And during the Bastet documentary, I learned about her as well. But now, because I know how to spell her name, let me just go ahead and put, I believe it's Phuket. Let's see here. Or Phuket. No, that's Thailand. I don't want Thailand. So my phone erased what I had. My apologies. Nancy, did you want to? I want to find. Oh, no, here we go. Here we go. There she is. So her name is Paquette, Pakhet. And of course, there's going to be other different. Let's see. Yes, Nancy, I have her Egyptian Oracle deck, and I also have her Egyptian Tarot deck.
That's great.
So this is like a piece of artwork of, oh, you're not going to be able to see it because it's a white background, but Paquette.
Uh-huh.
And wrist here really briefly, meaning she who scratches. And she is a lioness, goddess of war. And she's got temples near Armenia. The most famous temple of Pakhet was an underground cavernous shrine that was built by Hatshepsut near Armenia.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be a very interesting look later on. And that's the outside of it to go in. And hello, Brit Shenanigans. And let's see. And there's even old ruins of showing Seti the First with the goddess Pakhet. And she's the goddess of the mouth of the Wadi, related to those that hunted in the Wadi near water at the boundary of the desert. Another title is She Who Opens the Ways of the Stormy Rains, which probably relates to the flash floods in the narrow valley. So, yes, I'm going to look into her. Fierce warrior, huntress, the caracal. Yep. So, yes, but very cool. I recommend people looking into her too.
Mm-hmm.
I just love how her name too comes out, Phuket or Paquette or Paquette.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. So, hello, Sylvia. Sylvia has also joined us. She's saying hello to all the divine goddesses.
Yes.
And again, there's Brit. And so, wow, I'm going to need a sip.
Yeah.
After all of that.
Well, there's so many different ones,
Mm-hmm.
So
what was the first Egyptian goddess that you learned of, Nancy, when you were younger?
I guess it was Isis. That's the one that,
Mm-hmm.
But I was looking at this card of Nut, and about it says that she is goddess of understanding, but she's the goddess of the sky and celestial bodies. And look how they have stars all over her body. Isn't that pretty?
Mm-hmm. That's very similar to the image I found for our thumbnail. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
She just reaches over, touches. I think she touches from the west to the east. She's the starry sky.
Yeah.
So shall we then open it up to, divine feminine messages? Would you like to do that?
Oh dear. Karen's got the flu.
Oh no, she was taking care of hubby because hubby wasn't feeling well, and now, oh girl, feel better,
My
my dear.
daughter and her family all got that what we call the icky poos. They were
Hi,
so
Rochelle.
sick. Yeah.
Yeah, and Amethyst Ascension Rochelle has joined
Yeah.
us. Um,
Well, you get better, Karen. I
yes.
know it's
So,
hard to pamper yourself when you've got sick little ones because, you know, what I did when my children were small, and of course we had foster children too. Um, I would take a small trash can and call it the throw up bucket,
mhm.
and it saved so much trouble because it was right there. You didn't have to try and run to get to the bathroom and lose it on the way. So
Yep. So I'm going to do something a little different because we were talking about goddesses, Egyptian goddesses. I pulled out my cards, my two cards from Colette Baron Reed and I think the two Sekhmet and yep. And what I'm going to do is, for anybody who wants a divine feminine reading, you can go ahead and put me in all caps. And I am going to take my pendulum and I'm going to hand them over each one. And whichever one it spins over, that's the Egyptian goddess that has the message for you. And then I'll pull a couple of other cards.
Okay. Well, I have
That's what I'm going to do for
I
something for
have the
fun.
Egyptian goddesses from this deck, and so that's the only.
Have a little bit of fun here. Try something new.
Yeah. Yeah.
And hello, Carrie. Carrie is here also joining us. Love the horse picture. Always love seeing the horse. So who would ever like a divine? Actually, do I still have that banner? Yep, I'm just going to do that. There we go. And take a sip of coffee. Get a little kick. So Allison had off from school today, so hope you and the fur babies are staying warm and all cuddly and cozy while you're sewing. And happy Martin Luther King Day, everybody. Hopefully, moving forward, we can try to keep his message of love and peace moving forward. And I see you. Whoops. Nope. See the chat jumped up. Not gonna. Oops. I'm not gonna put you. Nope. 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 Come
I
back
saw
here.
Jackie. I saw Jackie.
Oh, my screen froze and it won't let me move my finger out the delete comment. You behave. There we go. Oh my God. What's my iPad? It's old. And then you got StreamYard. So, and Tom said, sure. What? Come on, Tom. You gotta stay positive. You can't let this bring you down. That's what the sure is all about. Things could really work out for the better. You never know. Let's see. Whoop whoop. Just got a text from the district. No school Tuesday and Wednesday. So you got yourself a little vacay, girl.
Yeah. How awesome is that?
So let's see. Who does Jackie Jacaranda get? This one. Because you never know. There might be a couple for Jackie Jacaranda. Wow, it spoke. Well, that worked. Jackie, you got Sekhmet. So let me set the others aside here. And let me find her again and I'll read her to you and I'll pull some cards. And I just love hearing Agador back again, singing for us. Yeah, it's chilly. We had a balmy 14 today. At least the sun was out, so it helped melt the snow off my car a little faster. And after the Bills win last night, people were out partying no matter how much snow was falling. So, but yeah, we're getting hit with the cold snap. So we made sure we got our shopping done today. So what does segment message for Jackie?
Hey,
And
Jezebel.
hello, Jezebel. It's been a while. Okay, Carrie. I'm sorry. I have a friend named a couple friends named Kari, and I keep wanting to say Kari, but it's Carrie. Heather, just think of the Europe song. Carrie. I used to love that song though. No, it keeps freezing. Behave. There we go. Ooh. Let's see what we got here. So I'm using my Stardust, and it has quite a bit of Egyptian, some Christian, some lunal temple imagery. It's the title of the cards are follow the tarot, but the imagery are not going to necessarily be the same. So I like using it as a tarot and as an oracle deck as well. Did you want to go, Nancy?
I have what I was doing is let's see.
Bye, Karen. Feel better, sweetie. You and the babes.
Let me pull one more card. I'm going to pull a card from the Egyptian god. Whoop.
Okay, then I'll go ahead.
Here we go. All right, this one just popped out, so we'll do that.
So do you still want to go for?
Why don't you go first?
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Didn't mean to make everybody dizzy. And Jezebel says the time zones confuses me. Yeah, they still confuse me too. And I've been doing this for 3 years now. So, Jackie, again, you got Sekhmet. So I like this one here. She's not too bad. I like the colors. She feels almost very Aztec-y as well. So you have Sekhmet, and her message is again about being determined. And I'm looking here to see what stands out to me the most with her. Okay, she wants you to, so driving you to create positive change. So that's what jumped out. So working on creating positive change in your life. And looking at these cards, I do see that you are doing it. The overall energy was the Three of Swords. So heartbreak, having to let things go that no longer serve, having to work through some grief, some sadness. But with this here too, she's veiled. And so don't let this heartbreak necessarily put a veil over your eyes of being afraid of trusting or loving again. And also not being afraid of lifting the veil and maybe tapping into abilities that you have. I know that you do read. So whatever this past heartache, or the heartache could be from people that are disapproving of your ability. But I just love this card. It's got, the veil. So just lifting the veil, trusting in your intuition, in your abilities. The top card is the Three of Wands. So you are making way. And I love this because it looks like she's emerging from her temple after a cleansing. So the Three of Wands is about determination, motivation. You have got things, you are expanding now. You're taking these ideas and you're moving forward with them. You go into your temple where you meditate and you connect with yourself again. Your next card is the Four of Cups. And now again, there's no cups, but I do have an equal armed cross here. And so the Four of Cups is that kind of like a crossroads, emotional crossroads. And I see this beautiful blue jewel in the middle, kind of being that person in the middle, like, which way do I go? There's these three other cups from the past. There's this one here. Maybe I'm not quite sure if I'm supposed to follow that. Am I supposed to take that? But by lifting that veil and trusting again, that will be able to, I think, um, help you feel more connected and have just self confidence, you know, moving forward. I also got the Eight of Swords. And so this transformation is going to have to come. We have to take ourselves out of that self imposed um, imprisonment. You know, typically, you know, it's the lady with, you know, her eyes covered. Um, but here, opening the eyes, and there's that third eye again. So, Eight of Swords, removing that veil, removing that blindfold, moving past out of self doubt, self negative talk, moving away from the heartache that others might have put upon you. And just really, again, I love that. Just going back and remembering that Three of Wands, you're moving out of the temple. You are, you know, it's like a cleansing, it's a refreshing. Um, it's a, it's like a baptismal, you know, and it's all in your hands, and that's what I have for you, Jackie. And just really quick too, you know, the Eight of Swords, you know, Egyptian columns with hieroglyphs, and it looks like there are, well, they're not actual goddesses, but I just love the fact that they're winged. So for me too, this feels like your spirit guides too, helping you open, walk past the comms, walk through that temple. Don't be afraid and move into the light. And that's what I have for you. Sounds good? Awesome. I'll give you over to Miss Nancy.
Jackie, I got to, you know, it just amazes me how things work out. I'll show you the cards and why I say that. The goddess, the Egyptian goddess that came out for you is Sahat, the goddess of wisdom. And this is what it says about her. Her name means the scribe, deity, teacher of arithmetic, astronomy, astrology, and architecture. She is depicted dressed in a priestly leopard skin and with a banner on her head supporting a 7-point star. She is the patroness of scribes and builders and is the most cultured of the Egyptian divinities. She symbolizes the manifestation of intelligence. Sishat reveals herself to you to illuminate your path of knowledge on the mental plane. Her presence strengthens your courage, sharpness, and hope. Although you may have to endure sacrifices and renunciations, go forward and trust in her profound knowledge. Okay, the card that came out for you from the Sibyl's deck is the card of measurement, which has to do with the picture on it is an abacus. And this was the mathematical. I just thought it was interesting. What this says for you, Jackie, is will is the measure of choice. It's a card of measurement. The abacus represents higher intellect, precision, and perfection. For without the ability to measure accurately, without mathematics, the architectural marvels of the ancient world could not have been constructed. Sahat was the Kemetan goddess of wisdom, record keeping, knowledge and writing, astronomy, astrology, and mathematics. She was associated with the proper execution of rituals and the initiations of neophytes. The divinatory meaning is, how much does this mean to you? If you can do without it, then stop struggling and let it go. If it is important to you and worth the struggle ahead, then pursue it. I just think it's so interesting that these two cards came out together, and this card mentions her. So that's what I have for you, Jackie.
All righty. So I was going to type, but I don't need to. So Jezebel, there is no list right now. We have Carrie next, and we have time for another one. If you'd like to be added on the list, all you have to do is type me in all capitals. And Mary Lloyd has also joined us. So if any of you two ladies would like a reading, just have to put me in all caps. And
Let's see who's
then-
next. I'm sorry.
So it is Carrie.
Okay.
Carrie. I can't believe that album came out my freshman year in high school. Good Lord. Oh, my music is now classic rock. And Jackie says, great synchronicity, beautiful cards. Thank you, Nancy.
Let's see here. Still.
So, okay, Mary and Jezebel, and that will be the last two for tonight. That'll be perfect timing.
Okay.
Sure, oh, I just love hearing Agador sing.
I know he's such a happy boy. He likes to hear your voice too, Heather. Let's see. I am ready.
So really quick, Jezebel again would like to know the Egyptian deck that you are using because she came in a little bit later.
The Egyptian Gods Oracle cards by Sylvana Alasia, Alasia. I think I got it on Amazon. I've had it for quite a while. It's a low Scarabeo deck. Let's see. We're reading now. Who? Carrie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Carrie. The goddess that came out for you is the goddess Sekhmet, and she is the goddess of justice. And this is what it says about her. Lioness-headed female goddess with the sun disk on her head, Sekhmet is the divinity of war, epidemics, but also the protectress of forms of healing. She is the expression of the duality between disease and healing, chaos and order, water and fire, the two elements from which matter and spirit are obtained. Sekhmet brings order and punishes those who disobey divine law. You have the opportunity to reconcile the opposing energies. Remember that all the chickens come home to roost. Every person must experience the consequences of their actions for better or worse. Every action or thought generates a consequence. Proceed more calmly and patiently. Avoid extremes. Be your own magician, balancing your will and your goals. Be just and fair. Learn to judge and criticize constructively without hurting others. And the Sybil card that came out for you, Carrie, is the card of stillness. And I love this. Can you see the crocodile? It's kind of hard to see. It's there in the water. It's green.
I can see him.
It says destiny rewards patience. Crocodiles do not normally chase their prey. They are patient and can wait hours, days, or even weeks for the opportune moment to strike. They can survive a long time without eating. Sobek was the Kamichian god of strength and power. He was associated with the Nile crocodile and often depicted with a crocodile head. Action would not be productive right now. Maintain self-control by reminding yourself that waiting is not doing nothing. Making a move when a meal is certain. Until then, be quiet and observe like a good hunter. So that's what I have for you, Carrie.
All righty. So she was very happy that Sekhmet came out. She's like, oh, I knew she'd come out. And she shared so many opposing energies right now, but I won't let them into my energetic field. I'm also currently healing my herniated disc. Oh. Yes. Take it easy, my dear.
Wow.
So did I have you on the big screen? Did I remember to put you on the larger screen, or did I forget?
I wasn't paying attention. That's fine. Agador and I are fine with the smaller screen.
Oh, okay. So, Jessica, I'll add you to the list, but I don't know if we'll have time, hon. Heather doesn't have the paid subscription anymore, sweetie, so I have to watch my time. But if we have time, I'll add, but if not, we will get you next Monday. So, Carrie, oh my. So, your goddess that came out and it went with the other cards is Ma'at or Ma'at.
Ooh.
And she is all about truth. And so were your cards. Just really quick before I read that a little bit that jumped out for me from Colette's book. You have the World card, you have the Queen of Swords, and her first keyword is truth, and you have the Justice card. And so there is something going on right now where you are standing in your truth that well, I'm just going to go ahead and read Ma'at really quick here. It says here, Ma'at comes to remind you that if you are willing to do a fearless self-inventory and live authentically with rigorous honesty, it would lead you to great success in all areas of your life. Be completely transparent with others. Although it might at first feel too vulnerable, it's exactly what you need to do now. This will open up and allow you to claim power of experience, claim your power and experience a new sense of freedom, being able to do that. Because when people hold shame or fear or regret over us, that's how they like to manipulate and control. Here it's like be open, be transparent, be who you are, and to stand in your power. And it says here, your life is exactly where it needs to be. Live fearlessly in truth. So that was Ma'at. And then for your overall energy, I got the World card. So it feels like things are coming full circle. Um, there's a completion coming through with your life right now. Um, you are in the middle here. You are that Queen of Swords. And in this deck, they show her pregnant, which I found very interesting for the Queen of Swords. But this is pregnant of communication, of ideas, of new beginnings. And what that she says here in the book, I love and I have to share. So the first keyword from this author is truthful. So again, standing in your truth, holding others also to be accountable for their truth as well. And it says here, Queen of Swords symbolizes a woman of older age who provides a younger woman with wisdom and truth. This may be a relative or a stranger. This card embodies the maternal spirit of protection while also providing enough empathy to aid another. And that's beautiful. And then the overall energy is justice. So again, Ma'at coming into justice, things coming full circle. I feel like there's something that is on its way, if it's not here already, where you've been dealing with having to find that balance, wanting that justice, people being held accountable, but most importantly, you standing in your truth and being able to follow suit with that. That's where the completion comes in, is when you own who you are, your truth, your belief, and you stand in that. And that's where that justice and that truth will prevail. So that's what I have for you, my dear. I hope that resonated. Let me set these cards aside and get a little caught up on chat. Last night, my dream was a woman sending me negative energy, and I physically saw the energy being sent back. Beautiful. Sekhmet, you've got the Queen of Swords, protection. You've got Ma'at. There you go, sweetheart. And she says, yes, Ma'at, I left my old career behind and in pursuing my purpose, utilizing my gifts. Others around me don't understand nor support me, but I don't need them to. You go, girl. Just keep being me. That's all you can do. That's what you're here to do, to be nobody but you. And she says, lovely cards and messages. Thank you. Whoops. And now my StreamYard's freezing, so it won't let me. I'll have to give it a few seconds, but all righty. So on to the next. And we have Mary. Are you still here, Mary? I'll take a quick pause and do a little sip. give Mary a moment here to. Mary, are you here? And if not, we can just move on to Jezebel.
Oh, she is here.
Oh, is she? Because it didn't pop up yet. Oh, there she is. All righty.
Okay.
You're all ready, aren't you?
I did. I have
Here,
got
let me do
two
this now.
very interesting cards for you, Mary. The Egyptian goddess is Isis, the goddess of faith and wisdom. Sister and wife of Osiris, she is compared to the mother goddess. Her name means throne. In fact, she is represented with a headdress in the shape of the throne. She is revered as the ideal mother and wife. She is the protectress of sinners and the oppressed, and the goddess of motherhood, fertility, and great magic. As a conveyor of serenity and love, Isis invites you to reflect on the themes of faith, knowledge, fidelity, purity, and silence. Learn to work on keeping secrets and trust in faith. By keeping secrets, you learn to protect and to bear great responsibilities, such as the secret knowledge of the duality between the material universe and the spiritual universe. Now, the second card that I got, from the Sibyl's Oraculum, is the card of death. And I love this card, and I love the message of it. And I think this is not only for you, it's for me, and I don't know, maybe some of the collective out there. It says, only distance is death. Gebel al-Mawata, also known as the Mountain of the Dead, at the Siwa Oasis in Libya, is thus called because the hill contains several tombs that date from the 26th dynasty and the Greco-Roman periods of Kemet. It represents the perception of death by the living. The remains of bones and artifacts of the nobles buried there only signify their apparent end. These were people in the family community who led exemplary lives and were to be consulted about matters of importance and given offerings as required. Deceased relatives were still considered present even if they were unseen. Ancestor reverence was part of daily life for all the people in the ancient Mediterranean. And then the commentary on this card is death is usually understood as the end, but this is an unscientific position that we continue to perpetuate because we become emotionally attached to specific forms in specific ways. Most of us have heard that matter cannot be created or destroyed, but that it is of little importance when we are grieving what such a short time ago was present that suddenly has become the past. So if people know all matter is immortal, then what is the source of our pain and longing? The source of our pain and longing is whatever we have accepted to be accurate in relation to time and space. And it goes on, talking about how they are gone from our presence, but they are not gone. They are somewhere that we cannot be destroyed, And I love that. I think this is a card of hope. And, if any of us have had someone dear to us leave us, as they transition, I mean, it's very, very sad, but it's a beautiful liberation for them. And I just love this card, and I love that for you, Mary. I hope it resonates.
All righty, Mary. So, what Egyptian goddess did I get for you? Where did she go? Hold on a second. I got to save my spot here. So I got to look at some of her book. You have the goddess Isis. So Isis came out for you from the both of us. And in this book, there's an empowerment message and there is an alignment message. And I'm just going to share really quick here. Thank you, Nancy. And see, it's freezing again. Thank you, Nancy. I am learning to keep things to myself, sharing only if asked. I have had 3 deaths this year. Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
So, Mary, rebirth. So I think these deaths, when we have deaths in our life, whether loved ones, family, it's kind of like a reminder again to make sure that we embrace life and to live ours each day to the fullest as we possibly can. And in this way, it gives us a chance for our own rebirth to take place. And so I was drawn to the alignment message, Mary, for you on this one. And what stood out to me is the message. The goddess Isis, with her powers of reincarnation, has a message for you. You are not broken. You are not wounded beyond healing. And opportunities are not necessarily lost forever. Your insistence on defining yourself by your losses and wound stories are not serving you now. Your alignment task is to fully accept things as they are, choose to find a way to put the pieces back together, let die what doesn't serve you, and focus on what works. Right now, at this moment, you feel trapped. So I can see where the grief, the sadness can make you feel that way. And it feels like it probably does feel like it's breaking you down. Um, but Isis is here is to tell you that you're not broken and those pieces can be reassembled and pieced back together. And I have some very interesting cards from the Stardust Tarot. And so let me pull out the first one here. I'm going to use, because it's non-traditional, I'm going to use the book here. So you got the Knight of Cups. And typically Knight of Cups is, the knight on the horse or beside the horse. And it's, the cup of empathy, intuition, kindness, compassion, somebody who wears, their heart on their sleeves, or, is willing to support other people emotionally when they need it. And with this deck here, um, her addition to it is peace, diplomacy, and also invitations. So this is an invitation for a rebirth, an invitation to really start living life again, to living your life. And what's here also says here, Knight of Cups is frequently associated with kind offerings and humble endeavors. It may indicate that another individual is attempting to show you affection or provide you with selfless generosity and kindness. And I kid you not, the very next card, Mary, was the Six of Pentacles. And that's exactly what the Six of Pentacles represents. People giving another person, whether it's financial, assistance, um, emotional assistance. There is somebody, I feel in your life right now that is there to help you or is wanting to help you. That's there to help you kind of pick up these pieces. And I just love how those two cards went right into the other. And it's hard to see, but there's a lady here with her hat on. She's got her feet in her water, playing with the water in the river. And of course, there's that beautiful shell with the crystal in it. And I don't know if you have a quartz crystal. If there are times when you feel really down, or you need that bit of sense of support. Quartz crystals, when they're clear, they can be programmed to help you with anything. Quartz crystals are very powerful cleansers, protectors, and whatever that you program them to be or ask them to be for you. And I love how she's got her hands in in the waters, so it feels like there's somebody there too, emotionally reaching out to help you through this time. And the overall energy on the bottom was a Knight of Swords. So this could be either a man or a woman, but in this card we do have an Egyptian pharaoh. Is in beautiful flowers, but this Knight of Swords, I'm going to share from this book as well. Um, let me just, so it's about, so the Knight of Swords is a card that dares you to take chances toward a greater future. So I think there's this person, this could be also you. And I think sometimes with these readings, when we can't figure out is a court card the person we're reading for, is it another person? It could very well be both. It's an initiative too for us to take a look at ourselves and how we can help ourselves in our everyday life, and then also because we are a reflection of others. So this may be what we experience or what we do for ourselves can be reflected in a court card of that same energy coming there to help us. And it says here, it's significant. Heather can't talk. It signifies an individual who is assertive and honest in their intentions. This card may indicate that you or someone you care for is about, well, not to propose to their significant other. Well, I don't know about, it may be a proposal. I don't know, but this proposal could be maybe offering some words of advice, words of encouragement, maybe some emotional support. And sometimes the Knight of Swords, they can be blunt. They can kind of not, watch what they say. Sometimes they'll say something, in traditional, but it's someone that's coming in. They're rushing in, and I think they're coming in to help you. This could be a spirit guide. This could be you. This could be somebody else, or it could be all three. So, Mary, I'm going to leave that. I hope that resonated with you, my dear, and thank you for letting Nancy and I read for you. Um, oh, that's beautiful. I think a lot of us are, and you do have a quartz crystal. Oh, see, now it's not letting me click on that. StreamYard, you are vexing me to no avail tonight. So, we are at 6:06. So, Jezebel will be our last read for the evening. And I'm going to put you on the big screen because I got a feeling you're ready.
I am ready. I have got a wonderful goddess for Jezebel. It is the goddess Mut, being ordinary. Her name means mother. She is depicted as a woman wearing a golden headdress in the likeness of a vulture. Mut is the mother of all things and is associated with the primordial waters of the god Nun, from whom everything in the world was born. She symbolizes permanent creation. She establishes the conservation of things. Mut will offer you her necessary presence if you put your whole heart into working to give benefit and advantage to your home and your family. You will only facilitate the production and increase of wealth, especially material goods, by maintaining respectful and regular behavior on a daily basis through enthusiasm and dedication. I don't know why it says being ordinary, but anyhow, that's what this says. The card from the Sibyl's Oraculum for you, Jezebel, is the card of justice. And it says, let's see, there we go. Oh, and this is the back of the cards. I don't think I showed those there. But anyway, the court is in the heart. The key symbol, Commissions placed a scarab over the heart of the deceased to symbolize resurrection after the judgment of the soul. Mahat was the ancient Comitian goddess of truth, balance, morality, divine justice, and cosmic order. Her Greek and Roman counterparts are Themis and Veritas. Jupiter was the Roman god of the sky and the protector of the state and its laws. There was a temple to Jupiter in Libya. Everyone has, at one time or another, felt betrayed by circumstances. When we are disillusioned or disappointed, we often complain that life is not fair and retreat into a self-pitying state. It rarely occurs to us that the circumstances and or conditions we attract are in direct alignment with the thought process that preceded and facilitated the manifestation of events. We never doubt or question the necessity for the existence of natural laws for all things to remain in order. Yet somehow we forget that we, as the microcosm, are also subject to universal regulations for the exact same purpose. As a result, we miss opportunities for growth by blaming other people, fate, bad luck, and lost charm. Anything, Alexa, stop. Excuse me. Anything, let's see. As a result, we miss opportunities for growth by blaming other people, fate, bad luck, and lost charm. Anything but taking the time to examine how we may have lost balance. The divinatory meaning of this card is if you get justice in a reading, it may be a warning to avoid perpetuating yourself as a victim to yourself or others. Seek not pity or revenge at this time, but instead analyze how your choices and decisions contributed to the outcome of the situation. If you go deep enough, you will recall all the ignored hunches, reservations, or red flags. They were there. And that's what I have for you, Jez.
Okay, I took myself off mute because I was typing. So Allison was asking if I had, this was the deck I had gotten a while back and I used, and it comes out every now and then, and it's just like, I'm not going to use it. I'm going to give it away. But then when I pull it out and I look at the colors and I feel the energy, it's like, I got to learn how to work with this. And
which
today,
one is it,
boy,
Heather?
it's the Stardust.
Oh, that's the one you showed me.
The non-traditional. Yeah. But the pictures are just so beautiful. That's why I kind of, I use it both as tarot and oracle. So, I forgot to hit send. So, yeah, we gotta love Siri. So, Jezebel, I pulled from the Goddess of the World, and I got Nut for you. And I just love her crown. She's just so radiant. It's just like she's just walking and standing in her power. I absolutely love that card, that stance. Even though she's traditionally supposed to be, leaning over the sky, but yeah, she's got her crown on. That's good enough. So the Egyptian, so her title again is Reach for the Stars in this deck. Not the title, but her keywords or key phrase. So the Egyptian goddess of the sky reminds you of the vastness of the cosmos and the limitless possibilities of life. Notice the expansiveness within yourself and the universe, for you are connected to the stars and the very essence of creation. As you look to the heavens, let Nut's energy inspire you to dream big. That's a big crown to fill, but you can do it. She's like, Queen girl, you got this. And the cards I pulled, wow. So as I was shuffling, one flew out and I set that aside, and that was the Ten of Swords. So even though there's only three here, the 10 and the 3 are very painful ones in because the swords can be a really rough suit to work through. It's not the most kindest of suits, but it's kind of like the suit of lessons, really. So with the Ten of Swords, that's things have come completion. It's a completion of pain, of suffering, feeling like, that last knife that, went into the back. But what someone described once before is that with the Ten of Swords is the opportunity now they can all start to be removed. You survived, the lessons have been learned, and it's a completion. And the only way up, the only way is up now. Here we got a couple camels too. Gotta love the camels. You have the moon cycles. So perhaps this last cycle from full moon to full moon, perhaps this was a represented maybe a conclusion or a completion of some sort of discord or painful situation that you've been dealing with. And what the other cards are showing are beautiful. It's like you're moving past that now. your overall energy, the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is all about kind of putting the nose to the grind, working on creating something new, honing your craft. This could be maybe going back to school, following through with a project or a hobby or something that you want to create. The painful lessons are in the past. Now take that energy, take that, not energy, but take that take that pain and create with it, move forward with it, work on something that it is that you've been wanting to work on. Again, there's another set of moon cycles, so maybe now from now, starting around with the new moon going to the full moon or to the following moon, start planning something new, start working towards something new. There's also like a little turtle in here, so maybe coming out of your shell, working on maybe recreating yourself, maybe revamping yourself, reinventing yourself. Again, we got the beautiful quartz crystals, a lot of emotions, water play into these cards. And of course, there's like two portals, there's two gateways. So as you create and work and redesign, rediscover yourself, and this is the Hermit year too. So a lot of us are going to be doing that. And then the top card is the High Priestess, and there's again your other portal. So you use your intuition, you use your guidance, you use the psychic abilities that you have, and start creating a place. I love how they use like the Taj Mahal, because that palace was built for, I think it was the Sultan. I think that's what they refer to, for the Sultan's wife that he loved so much. Mm-hmm. And so it's time for you to start using that intuition, that self-love for yourself, and rebuilding yourself a temple just for you. And using that wisdom that you learned from those 10 of Swords, and just moving forward with life. And I love too, in this Eight of Pentacles, there's also a star included in there as well. So keep working towards your goals, honing your craft, working on you, and just keep following that northern star, what drives you, what inspires you. And that's what I have for you. Time for a new art project. Sounds good to me. I can get behind art. Would love to see what you do if you're an artist. Let's see. My goal for the year is settling into a quiet, small life of honoring the ordinary. It has been some intense years, so I'm struggling to accept this still. So it makes a lot of sense. And that 10 of Swords could maybe represent 10 months, 10 years. That's something that, again, with the High Priestess will resonate the most with you. And let's see, Allison said, oh wow, she's stunning. Oh, this one here, Newt. She was meaning the other card, but yeah, these cards have some really beautiful pictures on them. I just think we're more aligned with the RWS, but time for a new project. So,
Heather, did you cut your hair?
No, I took a bath. It's just,
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say you didn't cut it, did you? Oh, it's so pretty. Okay.
I wish I could. Well, it needs a really good trim and a color, let me tell you. But later this year. So yes, that one just gorgeous. Yeah, she's beautiful. So alrighty, Miss Nancy, you got anything coming up this week?
I think this coming Sunday, I will be doing readings with Scott at Scorpio Sun Tarot at 7 p.m. on his channel.
Okay. Now tomorrow I'm waiting to hear back from Jackie's Crystal Moon. We're going to try to see if we can aim either for Tuesday, or I don't know about Thursday, but we're going to see if we can aim on one of those days to have our open discussion about moving forward with the true crime. We couldn't do it last week. Her dad had to go into the hospital, and she wanted to be there for him, and you can't do a show when you're doing so. Jackie and I will be not doing any readings on any cases, but we want to have a conversation with any chatters or readers who would like to share their insights and thoughts and feelings on when it comes to true crime reading, and how you know, because right now Jackie and I have been getting a lot of compliments and thank yous from friends and family of Nazia Harris, saying that our reading that we did with Sylvia joined us that day. Um, that you know the readings were very spot on, and you know they've been very grateful, and we've had some people reach out to us. So almost 7,000 views, you know, for her case. So we just feel like we help, and we're trying to make sure that we do it, you know, from a place of continued integrity and respect to the family. And we just want to have an open discussion with everybody, so people we're all on the same page as to why Jackie and I do our readings. So hopefully that'll be either tomorrow afternoon at 2 or maybe Thursday. And then Friday I'm back with my girl Allison for another Friday Night Psychics. Not quite sure what we're going to be talking about that night, but so everybody, thank you for joining Nancy. Stay warm.
And next week it will be on my channel.
And next week, yes, Divine Feminine will be on Nancy's channel. So thank you for hosting, Miss Nancy. And it allows me to be able to do like the poetry. So and thank you everybody too for the poetry, for supporting Karen and I last night. So it's great to be back with that as well. Yeah. So everybody have a good rest of your night. Enjoy, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye to Magador, too.